Ebola is something terrible and something strange in our land. My story about Ebola is from my heart. So what I try to do, something about poem is the inside feeling and the outside experience. So within me, I sense this. People dying out of this Ebola. I see it with my own eyes. A whole family being wiped. Maybe it might be because of denial, maybe out of ignorance, not knowing how to handle the situation. But it bothers me. So what I do, I try to get this message together, at least to make Sierra Leoneans know what we're going through and the story about Ebola. My family has been affected. Of course, I lost the husband of a nephew. I lost the husband, right? Then also, within my dwelling place, a whole family is swept. The only survival is a boy, right? Then also present as I'm talking to you, our local head, the headman of Godrich village, is going through this Ebola crisis. Already I've lost 3 of his family's members and is in a quarantine home right now as I'm talking to you. So this situation is real. Yeah, Ebola is real. And it's what I have experienced is what I try to put together into a poem. The first stanza, let me read it for you, please. The poem goes, "O Queen Mother, our minds are troubled in fear and stigma. We can't stand it any longer. We need a helper for this terrible Ebola. Every day and every night I ponder over your disaster. I turned around, I could not see my brother. Oh Queen Mother, I could not see my sister. All alone I wept. In my home, seeing a whole family swept. Will I live to see tomorrow? I said in pain and sorrow. Oh Queen Mother, we are changed from our realities. We no longer buried our dead ones. The culture of shaking hands. We no longer embrace our loved ones. For all this I bow in tears shed. Oh Queen Mother, but when I raised my head and saw the construction of the 100 Ebola virus beds, I smiled and stood up because I see reasons to go ahead. Oh Queen Mother, unto you we hope for the better." That's my poem. It is so great, especially working with the sappers, that the international engineers, right? From them I learned something different. Maybe a Sierra Leonean or black personnel will hurt me and might misunderstand me, but I saw differences, the way they handle issue and the way we handle issues here. Of course, they give us the courage to work. Of course, there is no necessity for water supply. They did it here. They bring us water. They give us words of courage. I think that's great. Of course, working here, I feel great to work here. We have a national pledge which says, "I pledge my love and loyalty." And that's loyalty I try to do. If I am loyal, I am a patriot of this country. I need to work for this country, one way or the other. Okay, money, it might be the issue, but inside my heart, I think my effort is greater than the money. Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe someone out there will say, these people use you to work. I'm not saying that international engineers, maybe the local engineer who employed us, someone might say, these people use you, they don't give you the amount of money you needed, something of the sort, right? But I think I am a loyal soldier, let me use that word. Yeah, a loyal soldier who have worked to liberate this country. This is a crisis. And I have made up my mind to work also if there is the need when emergency start their work. I have made up my mind to work, even entering into a zone John called the red zone. John called that zone the red zone. I think it is a critical zone. There are some danger aspects of that zone. But if we don't walk there, if we don't make our mind to walk into that zone, at the end of the day, we will walk there. I have made up my mind to walk in there. Oh yes, despite the money. And one thing I admire, which I made mention here into my poem, when I raised my head and saw the construction of the 100 Ebola virus bed, it is great. I see a reason to go ahead. What I mean here is that, okay, now, in the first instance, we start this Ebola thing with denial. People say it's something not good, real. Doctors died, heroes have died because of this Ebola. One or the other, because it might be because there is no something like a center to treat people or to give them the actual treatment. But when I saw this, I saw, oh, I said something is coming. Yes, and that thing is something that will bring this situation to just bury this whole situation. People have died. What's your name again?
Steve.
Steve, people have died. It is real. Yeah. So when this Ebola 100 beds came into construction, I said, oh, this is great. I tried to get in charge with the pioneer, let me say. They explain a lot. I see it is something great. So I tried to get this whole thing together. And I feel great working. Yeah, that's good. To crown it all, it is good working here. For as long as the cause is to eradicate Ebola, it is good working here. One thing Sierra Leoneans have to know, this is a situation, a very serious one. And we need what we call joint effort. We should join effort to alleviate the suffering of Sierra Leoneans, right? How? The measures which have been put in place, we need to go through these measures. Of course, people denying that Ebola is not in existence, that individual or those people, they are getting themselves to the drains, right? By this I mean, I have seen people dying because they deny. Some times ago, I was at the Laka hospital where Leonardo is working. This Leonardo, who is now an emergency staff, is working here now, right? A lady took her sister there. She was asked if she got in touch with the sister. She denied. When she returns home, she starts, the signs start to show up on her. When she went to the hospital, she was asked, lady, the first time you came here, we asked you if you get in contact with us, you deny. Now we need the truth from you before we get you in there. She explained that she charged her sister. So that means this measure needs to put in place by stop charging sick Ebola patients. Stop that. It is bad. When you diagnose those signs, or when you sense those signs, the three major signs: vomiting, frequent stooling, headache. When you experience those signs, stop. Call 117. It is real. I am a Sierra Leonean. I know what I feel about my fellow Sierra Leonean going down there out of ignorance or out of denial. It is not good. Why? Oh God. You know what? We need to take a bold step, Sierra Leoneans. And this step is to forget, maybe you might bring politics into this. I know what I'm saying. Some people want to politicize this thing, and it is bad, right? So just push politics aside, then we fight this cause, we achieve eradicating Ebola here. Okay, about the 117. Let people keep calling 117 whenever they sense sick patient. And some times ago, through the radio, I had a moderator saying, please people, don't hide sick patient. There's another appeal I want to give out there to Sierra Leoneans. Don't hide sick patient. Call immediately. Now, one thing that is very great, the emergency people have found a way to combat this situation. I went there. I saw where they're using their medication. Then they have discharged so many people. So now, if you sense the signs, the initial stage, rush to the hospital and find way. You might be a lucky someone. If the life is there, you will be discharged and be Ebola free. Yeah, that's my advice so far. And lastly, the advice also I want to make here over burial. It had been our practice. It is not easy, I know. We used to wash our dead bodies. You know what I mean here? Wash them. We take them to before we take them to the cemetery, right? But now it had reached the point, and I state this here in my poem. Oh my God! I said, we no longer buried our dead ones. You see that? It is difficult. But Sierra Leoneans, we need to take this bold step. It is a measure, and if we do it, it will save us. Yeah. After Ebola, there is life. So let's don't let this Ebola dominate us. We are human. I think we can think smarter, try to handle this Ebola thing. Yeah, that's what I believe.